HelloFresh takes the guesswork and the extra hassle out of planning and preparing delicious meals for dinner. America's #1 meal kit, HelloFresh gives you over 40 recipes to choose from each week. And then your farm-fresh, pre-portioned seasonal ingredients arrive at your doorstep with simple instructions to help you feel like the master chef of your kitchen. And did you know that HelloFresh is cheaper than grocery shopping and 25% less expensive than takeout? HelloFresh has been an awesome addition to our household's dinner routine. We all get involved and cook together, following the pictured step-by-step instructions. It's a fun quality time, and the meals are delicious. Give it a try and see for yourself. Go to HelloFresh.com/50havingitall and use code 50havingitall for 50% off plus free shipping. Again, to get 50% off plus free shipping, go to HelloFresh.com/50havingitall and use code 50havingitall.
With Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to... Has anyone seen the bride and groom?
Sorry, we're here. We were getting lucky in the limo and we lost track of time.
No, Lucky Land Casino, with cash prizes that add up quicker than a guest registry.
In that case, I pronounce you lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Daily bonuses are waiting. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Welcome to the Having It All podcast, the show about what it takes to live an abundant, loving life. My name is Matthew Bivens, and each week I'm helping you get out of your head so that you can truly have it all. Let's do it. What's going on, beautiful people? Welcome to the Having It All podcast. My name is Matthew Bivens, and I am thrilled to have you here so that we can talk about having it all, having an abundant, loving life, and what that looks like and what that feels like. So welcome to the podcast. If this is your first time, thank you so much for taking a risk and investing a little bit of time in this show. I am going to give you everything I got today. Everything I got. So I hope you get something powerful out of this. And if you are returning, then welcome back. I'm so happy that you're here. I'm pumped. I'm excited. There's been so much going on. So much going on in the last several weeks, particularly in the last week. And today's episode is going to be packed. There's a lot of stuff I want to hit on. And every segment that we get into there's going to be something powerful in there. So I'm excited. The big topic today is your money game. Your money game. I want to talk about, and I want to ask you really, how big is your money game? And this is a cool thing that I was chatting with my coach just last night actually, and he dropped this belief and this phrase that I was like, oh man, I can't wait to share this on the podcast. So we're talking about how big is your money game? Yes. But first, we're going to get into some magic. We're going to explore these magical moments, those moments when you influence yourself, others, in life in a powerful way. And the reason why we do this, the reason why I talk about this on every show is because you are creating magic all the time. You are a creator. You are the writer, the director, the producer, the star in your own movie, and you're creating these amazing magical moments all the time. Yet, in those days when you're feeling frustrated and you're feeling disillusioned and you're feeling powerless and you're feeling like a victim to life, when that happens, you're totally missing the magical person that you are. You're totally like forgetting it, turning your back on it. So I want to remind you how magical you are. I want to remind you how powerful you are because, again, you're making this magic. You're creating this magic all the time. So I'm going to share some magic, then I want you to pause this episode and reflect on some magic that you've created. I've got two huge pieces of magic. I don't even know which one to start with because they're both incredible. But I'm going to start with the one that really has touched my heart. And last Tuesday, the Having It All podcast passed the 1 million downloads mark. And I am totally blown away and speechless and humbled at that fact. The show passed the 1 million downloads mark. I mean, just the past 3 years, like the podcast turns 3 in just over a week. And in 3 years, for me to think that this show would eclipse 1 million downloads, like, you know, I have intentions and I set visions for what I want to create in my life. And what was really interesting with this show, I didn't do that. I jumped into this podcast fully to explore and to exercise a passion of mine and to talk about things I really enjoyed and just to experience myself in this new way and to give myself this sandbox to play in. And, you know, you've heard me talk about it before that my original goal was 100 episodes. That's just what I wanted to do, was 100 episodes. And then that gave me the space to kind of find my way. And so just looking back and to be like, wow, that's where I was with this show. And now over the past 3 years, to not have just found my way, but to fucking honed in on it, really gotten crystal clear on it, and seeing this thing take off to 3 million downloads is beyond me. And so I am so grateful to you. Thank you. Thank you for making that possible. You know, thank you for listening to an episode, whether it was 1 or 100. Thank you for sharing this podcast with your friends, with your partners, with your coworkers. I know so many of you have done that because you've told me. You know, thank you for connecting with this message and then going out in the world and being bold enough to say, you know what? I can have it all. And I'm going to go prove it because I'm going to be it. Like, that to me is so, so incredible. So that's my first piece of magic. And you get now why that's so big. Just thank you. Thank you. My second piece of magic is one that I'm also incredibly excited about. And that's the course, the Having It All Blueprint, launched yesterday, actually. Yesterday was March 1st. And that's such a big deal that Maya has just jumped in the room with me. What's up, Maya? And now she's been pulled away. She wanted to come in here and celebrate that magic that the Having It All Blueprint has launched. And that has been tremendous. I mean, I've been pouring my heart and soul into that thing for the past several months. You heard me first talk about it like last summer, maybe, or last fall. But to get that going and to see all of you who've enrolled in the course, it's just so awesome. So that's magical. And boy, I'm telling you, this episode is packed. Like, there's some big stuff that's been going on. So those are my 2 pieces of magic for now. And I recommend that you all pause this episode right now and think about, how have I influenced self, others, and life in big ways? You know, like my 2 examples, the 1 million downloads, that's some life magic right there, for sure. And the course launching, that's self magic and life magic. Like, self magic because I had to put a lot into it and influence myself, you know, to do the late nights, to really put in the work. And then life magic because that's a vision of mine that I've had that, boom, it's now manifested. So think about for yourself, what are some magical moments? Because you are a powerful creator. HelloFresh takes the guesswork and the extra hassle out of planning and preparing delicious meals for dinner. America's #1 meal kit, HelloFresh gives you over 40 recipes to choose from each week. And then your farm-fresh, pre-portioned seasonal ingredients arrive at your doorstep with simple instructions to help you feel like the master chef of your kitchen. And did you know that HelloFresh is cheaper than grocery shopping and 25% less expensive than takeout? HelloFresh has been an awesome addition to our household's dinner routine. We all get involved and cook together, following the pictured step-by-step instructions. It's a fun quality time, and the meals are delicious. Give it a try and see for yourself. Go to HelloFresh.com/50havingitall and use code 50havingitall for 50% off plus free shipping. Again, to get 50% off plus free shipping, go to HelloFresh.com/50havingitall and use code 50havingitall.
It is Ryan here, and I have a question for you. What do you do when you win? Like, are you a fist pumper, a woohooer, a hand clapper, a high fiver? I kind of like the high five, but if you want to hone in on those winning moves, check out Chumba Casino. At ChumbaCasino.com, choose from hundreds of social casino style games for your chance to redeem serious cash prizes. There are new game releases weekly, plus free daily bonuses. So don't wait. Start having the most fun ever at ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
All right, let's do some listener love. This is one of my favorite parts of the podcast where I get to send some love back to you all because you send me love all the time in the form of Instagram messages, emails, iTunes reviews, in person. I meet up with some of you in person here in Atlanta, and so there's love that's shared, in that way. So today's listener love goes out to Carl from Instagram. And Carl, man, thank you so much for connecting, for reaching out, for sharing what you're going through. And you know what? This message right now, this is for you, Carl, and this is for anybody who's dealing with a breakup in this moment. And you know what? Like, breakups suck. They suck. And I totally feel for you, Carl. I totally feel for anybody who's going that right now. It's like your world shifts seemingly overnight. Even if you see the breakup coming, which is wild. Even if you see it coming and you're like, I know this has been years in the making. And then boom, it's a reality. It's like your entire world shifts. And if it was sprung on you or you were in denial about it and you had your blinders on, then yeah, your world's going to feel like it shifts. And it feels raw, and it's going to feel raw for as long as it needs to be, right? As long as it needs to feel that way. And I'm sending this out to you, Carl, and everybody else. Just keep your head up. Keep your head up. Keep moving forward, even if it's just a millimeter, even just a millimeter in the day. Like, continue making those deposits into yourself. Continue doing what you can to invest in your own joy and really in your own greatness. Like, recognize your own greatness. And the clouds will part. They will, eventually. Just trust that. Things will look up. And also, like, feel what you need to feel. Let yourself process. Let yourself grieve how you need to. Like, honor those feelings within you. And you'll come out of the other side stronger. So that goes out to anybody right now who's dealing with a breakup, whether it's fresh or whether it's been there for a while and you're still feeling it. Like, just that's my message to you all. And Carl, again, thanks for connecting with me, man. Thanks for hitting me up on Instagram. And if anybody else wants to hit me up like Carl did, my Instagram name is Matthew_Bivens. You can message me there. And you can also hit me up on email, mattcbivens@gmail.com. I would love to connect with you. I'd love to get some feedback from you on the show. I'd love for you to let me know what topics you want me to address. And just to take this from a one-way conversation to, open this thing up to where I can put names and faces to the folks who help make the 1 million downloads possible. I love that. And if you're in the Atlanta area, come out to Play Camp Tuesday nights at 6 p.m. Message me and I'll give you the address. And we can actually meet up in person. And that's awesome. I've had several of you do that, and it's been really cool. And you get to experience something different. Like right now in this podcast, it's a conscious conversation. And what I do at Play Camp is I bring this conscious conversation into a fitness arena. And so it's a group fitness class, but it's a conscious fitness class. It's like nothing you've experienced before, and it's so cool. And I love it. I love leading Play Camp. So if you're in Atlanta or you're stopping through, like, it's totally free. Just come on by Tuesday nights. Hit me up if you want the info and address. And yeah, I love to connect. I want to put that out there. Like, I just love connecting with you all. All right. I want to get into this episode, but first I've got to just formally share on the first legit episode since the course has opened, because I was doing those mini episodes over the past 5 days. So this is the first big one. The Having It All Blueprint is open. It's open. It's here. And this course is all about really building a life that you're excited to live, and doing that through establishing an incredibly strong and principle-based foundation. It's inner work. This is all inner work so that you can become the person that you need to become to go and create the life that you really want to create. Because I believe you can have the relationship you desire. You can be doing work that completely fulfills you. You can experience your body and your health in new ways. You can have it all. All of that is possible when you live a life that's aligned with your highest values. It's possible, when you are really stepping into those opportunities to celebrate your gifts and passions, right? All of that stuff. And so, aligning with your higher purpose, man, making sure that you're just honoring and loving yourself. When you're doing all of that, then everything in your life works. And that's what the Having It All Blueprint does. It teaches you in a step-by-step process how to create that kind of life. And I absolutely love what that framework, the framework in the Having It All Blueprint, what it's done for me in my life, because I've repped it. I've been repping it so diligently, so consistently, so religiously for the past 6+ years, just repping it. And now I'm so excited to be able to share it with you all. Beyond this show, because the show is talk, but the blueprint is the walk. The blueprint gives you the step-by-steps so that you can go out and walk the walk, because that's how things are going to shift. So if you're interested, you can learn more and enroll in the Having It All Blueprint at MatthewBivens.com/blueprint. Again, that's MatthewBivens.com/blueprint. All right. Let's talk about your money game. This is cool. Yeah, we're talking about money today. And what is awesome about this topic is I know that it's on your mind. I know it. And how do I know that? Because hundreds of you filled out my survey last year and you told me. You filled out this survey and you told me, hey, this is what's going on. This is my biggest challenge. This is the area that I want to create transformation in. And, it's really fascinating. Like, I really enjoy data. I like data because it gives you feedback. It helps you make sure that you're in alignment. It helps you see all those blind spots and stuff. And so I took all the data that you all gave me from the survey and I put it into a word cloud tool. So a word cloud, you've probably seen it. It looks like what the name is. It's a jumble of words that are kind of in a big old ball, like a big old mess. And there's these websites out there that you can take maybe like a passage from a book, and you can drop that passage into this word cloud tool, and it's going to show you what words show up the most frequently. And it's pretty cool. Like, I remember using that back in the day for different projects. And so I wanted the visualization. I wanted to see what words came up again and again and again from the surveys that you all filled out. So I took all the words and I dropped it into the word cloud tool. And I told the tool, show me the top 10 words. And like, you can't make this stuff up. It's so funny. The top 5 of the top 10 words had to do with money. Money was on there. Finance was on there. Finances were on there. Career was on there. Business was on there. The other 5 were like health and purpose and life. And that's kind of how it rounded out the top 10. But 5 of the 10 words were all about money. And so I know that money has been on your mind. And that's, that's what inspired me to do this episode today. So yesterday, my life coach was telling me a story of a client that he had worked with once. And it was this rich gentleman who he had realized that for himself, money did not bring him happiness. He went real hard on his career and making the money. And then when he amassed all these riches, well, his relationships went and his health went and all that stuff. So he worked with my coach to reclaim his joy, his peace, and his balance. And this guy told my coach, he said, money is just a scoreboard of how big of a game you're playing. Whew, think about that. Money is just a scoreboard of how big of a game you're playing. And when my coach told that to me, I was like, oh my gosh, I love that. I absolutely love that, because that means if you're not making a lot of money right now, if your financial situation is not where you want it to be, then perhaps you're playing a small game. Little money, little game. And if you think about it, people who are making big money, big is relative, right? But whatever you can think big is, somebody who might make the cover of a magazine because of the wealth they've amassed. Those types of folks, they're always playing big games. They're always playing big games. Like, can you think of somebody who's making big money and playing a little game? No, you can't, because Money is just a scoreboard of how big of a game you're playing. And if you decide to wear on that belief, if you believe in that, in that phrase, money is just a scoreboard of how big of a game you're playing, then a lot of things can shift in your life in terms of your relationship to money. Because if that's true, if money is just the scoreboard of how big of a game you're playing, and you aren't experiencing the financial situation that you want, if you have a pattern of feeling like I don't have enough money, then guess what? It's time to look at the game that you're playing. It's time to really, really look at the game you're playing. So what does that actually mean? It means in your career, in your job, in your professional life, like, are you fucking going for it? Are you really going for it? Or are you just choosing to coast? Are you choosing to maybe sit on the sidelines? Are you choosing to make excuses as to why you're not going for it? Are you choosing to play a victim? That's what playing a small game is. Coasting, making excuses for yourself, feeling down on yourself. That's a small game. And so I really want you to question yourself right now. I want you to look internally and ask yourself that question. How big of a game am I playing? Like, how big is my money game? And ask yourself, like I'm curious for you, like, what's your professional drive? How motivated are you? How committed are you? What gear are you in? Where do you know that you have an opportunity to step it up? Like, that's a huge question. If you think about that question for yourself and you commit to actually stepping up in that area, your life will change. So if you think about what is one area in your career, in your work, in your job, that if you really, really, really applied yourself and you took it from whatever it is now, maybe it's like a 4 or a 5, and you took it all the way up to a 10, and everything will change for you. What would happen? What would happen at your work if you truly dug in and applied yourself? And if you think about that in the context of the game, then when you're playing that bigger game, when you're stepping up and you're really going for it, one of the byproducts of that is you can increase the money that you're making. And I look to my own life as an example of this. Like, for me, getting this course out, the Having It All Blueprint, has been me stepping up my money game, because it's got me in the space of really repping, believing my message, and truly, truly repping, owning my own self-worth.
With Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to... Has anyone seen the bride and groom?
Sorry, we're here. We were getting lucky in the limo and we lost track of time.
No, Lucky Land Casino, with cash prizes that add up quicker than a guest registry.
In that case, I pronounce you lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Daily bonuses are waiting. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Okay, round 2. Name something that's not boring.
A laundry? Ooh, a book club. Computer solitaire, huh?
Ah, sorry. We were looking for Chumba Casino. That's right. ChumbaCasino.com has over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
There was, with the podcast reaching 1 million downloads, like, I have not done a lot of promotion of the podcast. So for 3 years, this show has grown organically. And that's been amazing. And with that, I have built this habit of sharing my message, right? Sharing my message over the platform, but then not going out and really doing everything I can to get that message out in front of people because I believe in the message so much. There's like, I share the message, but then what's my belief and my conviction in the message that I'm sharing? Or at least what's that hustle to get it out there in front of people? Because I'm like, man, everybody in the Having It All community right now is being impacted by my message. But there are billions of people who have never heard of it yet. So I need to get out there and go and boom, step my game up. And so I've applied that to the Having It All Blueprint course. Because traditionally, I would just put the course out there and I would just let you all know, hey, the course is available. If you're interested, go check it out. But what I did is I looked at myself and I'm like, man, I want to step up that game. Like I'm looking to increase my own financial abundance. And so, all right, let's play a bigger game. That means doing things that are uncomfortable. That means going out there and standing by my message, standing by the thing that I've created, standing by this course. And that's what I've done. And it's really interesting because I sit back and I look at that quote, like I'm going to go read the quote again. Money is just a scoreboard of how big of a game you're playing. And so over the past several years, I've been in this game of being a balanced lifestyle coach and really, really working on creating a career, a lifestyle, a living around what I love to do. And at the same time, the game that I've been playing within that has been kind of like a medium-sized game. Like I've had my wins, I've had my amazing months and things like that. But I've always known it could be so much more. And it's not simply because I just want to make all this money so that I can, have all the toys and rock the new Jordans and do all that stuff. It's like I want to use money as a tool to go and impact the world in the way that I want to impact it, to invest in the projects that inspire me, to support the people who I'm like, that is a great ROI. And so that's like me stepping up my game in that way. Like I totally connect with that. Little money, little game. Big money, big game. So I ask you again, if you are not making the money that you wish you could make, if your bank account does not look like what you want it to look like, honestly, ask yourself, how big is your game? Do you need to play a bigger game? How bold are you being in what you're working on? How bold are you being at work? How bold are you being with your side projects? Is there room for you to use more courage with what you ask for? Maybe when you step into that salary negotiation or that raise, are you just being timid and mouseish, or are you going for it? Are you being bold and courageous with how you actually put yourself out there at work? Do you sit in the back of the room at meetings, or are you up front making sure your face is known? Are you going around shaking hands? Are you doing what you need to do? Are you being bold and courageous with opportunities that come across your desk, like things you can actually seize? Or are you counting yourself out and saying, well, I don't have the experience that I believe that they're looking for? Or, what, I probably, it's a different department and I don't know those people over there and it's more responsibility. I don't really know if I want that. All of those things are evidence you're just playing a small game. And if that's the case, then cool. Take what comes with it. Little money, little game. Now, the flip side of that is maybe you are playing a big game. Maybe you are up to big fucking things right now. And you're not seeing the money that you want. If that's the case, then perhaps you're just early on in the process. Perhaps you just need to be more patient. Perhaps you just need to give this thing time to grow. It takes a redwood tree time to get to be its full size. Redwoods are the biggest trees on the planet. Every redwood has the potential to be one of, if not the tallest tree in the world. Like it's encoded in their DNA. But if someone is walking through a forest and they come along a little redwood sapling and they say, oh my gosh, look at this little guy. He's so tiny. His branches are so small. There's no way he's ever going to be as big as this one over here. I may as well just pull it up. Let's just chop it right now. We don't even need to give this thing a chance. If that's what happened, then there's no way any redwood would ever reach the heights that they can reach. And these trees get up to 379 feet tall. I know because I went on the internet and I searched it. So maybe you're just early in your process. Maybe you're at 100 feet and you're like, oh my gosh, I know I could be at 379. Guess what? It's not going to happen overnight. You got to give that some years. Give it time. Wayne Dyer said, infinite patience yields immediate results. So calm down. Recenter your focus. And just set your sights on that big picture. All right, this is what I'm playing for. All right, cool. You might have to adopt the habits of a big game person in order to experience big money. You might have to shift who you are to become who you want to be. And it's not even a might. You will have to. You'll have to look at those habits, those art form habits, your actions, relationships, and thoughts. Right? What are the actions, relationships, and thoughts of a person who makes big money? You can't have little money, action, relationships, and thoughts and hope that you're going to make big money or expect to make big money. It doesn't work out that way. You can't play a little game and want the results of a big game. Doesn't happen. Does not happen. So where can you step up? Where can you retool your focus? Where can you be bolder? Where can you be more patient? Where can you work smarter and not harder? Every single one of us can answer those questions. Every single one of us. Doesn't matter where you are. Doesn't matter if you're already playing a big game or not. If you're already experiencing big money or not. You can ask those questions to yourself and you can answer them and you can impact your financial situation. So if your money is not where you want it to be and you're unwilling to answer those questions, you're unwilling to step up, you're unwilling to be more bold, you're unwilling to be patient, you're unwilling to go to the next gear, then please stop complaining. Seriously, stop being a victim to your circumstance. Stop blaming your spouse. Stop blaming your boss. Stop blaming whatever's your physical ailments. Stop blaming all that stuff. You know, because one thing, it's a real low sign of maturity to complain about your financial situation, which is being in scarcity, in the midst of all the blessings you already have. Let's be real. We are all incredibly blessed. We all have everything that we need. So if you are frustrated about your financial situation and you're not willing to do anything about it, don't message me. Don't message me. Because I'm all about, all right, if you want to create something, go and be it. Go create it. Don't complain about it. You can ask questions. Hey, how do I play a bigger game? Awesome. Great question to ask. Hey, I'm having a tough time being more bold at the workplace. How can I be more bold? Great question to ask. But to be frustrated about your financial situation and be unwilling to do the work to change it, to change yourself so that you can create something different, nah, that's not what this podcast is about. That's not what Having It All is about. Having It All is about being proactive. It's about envisioning the life that you want and then becoming the person necessary to create that life. Like, there's no luck. There's no happenstance. Things don't just happen to us. Go back to that idea of magic and recognizing that you are a powerful creator. You have the ability to influence self, others, in life in an empowering way. You have that ability all the time. It's not just here or there. No, you always have that ability. So if you're frustrated with your money situation, ask yourself, how big is your money game? If you recognize that you're playing a small money game, then step up your money game, be more bold, be more courageous, dig in. Otherwise, let it go and just be cool with where you're at. Because you can absolutely have it all given the current financial situation that you have. You don't need more money to have it all. That's old paradigm thinking about what having it all is. Remember, this is about an abundant, loving life. Abundance is not a dollar amount. $100,000 isn't abundance. It doesn't matter how much money you have. Abundance is a state of being. So be it. You can feel abundant and joyful and full and complete and content and happy making $30,000 a year. You can. There are people out there doing that right now. There are people out there in other countries making so much less whose lives are abundant and loving and full of joy. It's your perspective on it. It's how you choose to relate to it. And because I know so many of you are focused on money and focused on career and focused on your finances and unhappy with the place that you're at right now, do something about it. Step your game up or show more gratitude, because the way that you're experiencing it right now is not helping anything. It's not shaping anything. It's just keeping you where you're at. It's keeping you ungrateful. It's keeping you seeing the grass being greener on the other side of the street. It's keeping that glass half empty rather than half full. And you have the ability to impact it, and you have the ability to change it. You have the ability to do whatever the hell you want. You always have, and you always will. So go and create your life. Go and create whatever it is that you want. Go experience life the way that you want. If you're not liking your money situation, change it. Play that bigger game. Take it up a gear. Dig in. And honestly, just believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. Count yourself in. I hold that space of possibility for you because I know the shifts that I've made. And I know where I came from in terms of my relationship towards self, my relationship towards money. I know those deep, dark pits. I've been there. I got real intimate with the floor at the bottom of the pit in terms of my self-esteem and my self-worth and what I thought I was capable of. So I know you can make that 180 change. But let's just be really, really persistent at examining our beliefs. And let's remove that emotion and just look at them objectively so that we can see that we're holding beliefs that don't serve us. A belief that's not serving you is telling yourself that you're playing a big game when you really aren't. That you're playing a big money game when you really aren't. That belief is not going to help you out at all. It isn't. So, there's a lot in this episode for you to think about and ponder and do, right? Because if you want to make a shift, there has to be some action. So I'm happy to pass what my coach's client shared with him, which has impacted me. I love when I can take these things and pass them on to you, and now you can ponder them for yourself, and you can go and share them with other people. Maybe this message wasn't for you, but it was for somebody who's close to you. Maybe it was for a family member or a friend or somebody at your job or your spouse. So share this conversation with them because you don't have to be frustrated by your current financial situation. You don't have to be. You don't have to constantly be desiring more money, more. You don't. So, thank you for hanging out with me on this full packed episode of the Having It All podcast. I had a lot of fun with this one. So much magic, so many amazing things going on. So much gratitude for you all. It's just I'm overflowing right now with all the feelings. And I appreciate you. Thanks for hanging out with me today. My name is Matthew Bivens, and here is to you having it all. Quick note about the Having It All podcast. I am not a doctor nor a licensed therapist. I'm a guy with a story and a passion for conscious conversation. My thoughts, opinions, and beliefs are my own. So please consult with your doctor or healthcare provider regarding any questions or issues you have related to your personal, physical, or mental health.
Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on ChumbaCasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Coincidence? I think not. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere, even at 30,000 feet. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's ChumbaCasino.com and live the Chumba life.
No purchase necessary. VGW. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.